If I could go back to my kid self, what would I say to him? We don't live in a bubble. You are not just an artist. You are a person with feelings, with desires, with ambitions, with hopes and dreams. You suffer pain, you suffer hurt, disappointment. Some of us have kids, you have all of these things. And through all of that, you're trying to navigate life. And life is bigger than just you being an artist. You have to navigate life in order to be whatever it is you want to be. We don't live in a bubble where it's just you just being an artist and then over here you live in your life. You have to do life at the same time as being an artist. So when I say discipline, I don't just mean, getting up and setting a time every day where you're going to practice your craft. I don't just mean, going online, getting a book, downloading the book of a tutorial and going through the book and going through the tutorial. That will took the other point. And you may be taking an art book and dedicating yourself to make sure you go through the art book, all the tutorials, and you do all of them. I don't just mean those things. I'll go to some practical tips later when we talk about hard work. But discipline, because you don't just live as an artist, you actually do life and you're an artist. You're not just in some bubble where you're just an artist over here and no other influence comes in to disturb that space. We have to live life. We have to get up. We have to pay bills. We have to deal with, some of us have kids. You have to deal with your kids. Some of you have a relationship, right? You're married or whatever the case may be, right? You live with your parents. You have relationships, right? You have to deal with your relationships. Sometimes you don't feel like getting up. Sometimes you don't feel like going out to work. Sometimes you don't feel like dealing with the madness in your life, basically, and that affects you as an artist. So if you're discouraged, how effective and productive can you be if you're discouraged, right? So you have to do life as well as being an artist. So I can't just tell you, oh yeah, get up every day, because life don't work like that. And if it was that easy, everybody would do it. Yeah. However, there's some key things you need to know that most people won't tell you, yeah? And that is this. You need... most people won't tell you this. So that's why when I say, what would I tell myself? It's difficult, Because in me telling my younger self, don't let anybody tell you can't be an artist. Don't let anybody tell you go and be a mechanic instead, or be a doctor, or be a airplane pilot. Don't let that dissuade you. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's well and good, but but those weren't my particular struggles. Like the reason why I decided to be a mechanic instead of an artist when I left school is because to impress my dad. So you're going to tell people not to listen to their dads? That doesn't sound reasonable to me, And if you told me at that age, don't listen to anybody, including your own parents, when they say to go and do this or do that, I would have looked at you like, what? Well, you want me to grow up rude and disrespectful to my parents and elders? Are you not thinking straight? So obviously you can't say that without some unique qualifications. If people try to discourage you and tell you you're rubbish, you won't amount to anything, then I can say, regardless of who it is, you don't listen to them. Instead of just don't listen to anybody. You can't be like that way, because there's people who have your best interests at heart. We're going to tell them, right? You're going to distrust them, people who have your best interests at heart, people who die for you. You're going to distrust them. That don't make no sense. I'm talking obviously in respect to my parents, but I digress a little bit. So the thing to have said to me at that age would have been, whatever happens, carry on drawing. You have no idea as a child where you can't even fathom. When I was a kid, I couldn't even fathom being my age that I am now, having kids. I was a kid and I couldn't fathom. Obviously, you younger, you used to think, oh, when I get older, I'm gonna get married and have a million kids. Like, you didn't think. You had no idea what that involved. That's what my point is. You couldn't fathom the true weight of some of these decisions. So telling a child, don't let anybody discourage you, can they really fathom the weight of such a responsibility, of such a courage and a strength? Can they really, at 6, 7, 8 years old, can they really internalize that thing? No. So, but what you can say to a child, which they will really get, is no matter what happens, keep on drawing. And the child may say to you, but I get it wrong all the time. Just carry on going, doesn't matter. And this is the same advice I give to you now. Just keep on drawing. You say, well, what do I draw? Anything. Just draw anything. In fact, start with the things you enjoy drawing. Like a child, you don't have to tell a child what to draw. It's only as we go through life, we grow, we go through the education system and all of this stuff, and we go through adulthood, and now we think that there's always a set way to do things. Because when we came to school, we sat in a class, we listened to the teacher at the front. They were going to teach us English, even though we can speak English, but they're going to teach us English. The implication is you don't know English, so then I'm going to teach you the proper way to speak English, right? I'm just telling you as it is from a child point of view, Then science, right? We're going to teach you what science is. We're going to teach you, and etc, etc. Anyway, I digress. What would I have told my younger self? Keep on drawing. Even when things look bad, keep on drawing. And if I had listened to that, I would have been a much better artist today, and I would have been a much more confident person as a result. Confidence really comes in the fact that you know how to do things. If you take pride in dressing, you know how to dress, you feel confident about your dress, your appearance. If you know you can play an instrument, then when you pick up the instrument, you feel confident to do whatever. Same thing with everything, with dancing, whatever thing you know how to do well, you will be confident in. It's things that we don't really know, not really sure. Ooh, is it gonna come over right? Ooh, that's when the nerves and stuff and the fear comes in, But so yeah, that's what I would tell my younger self. But so when it comes to perseverance, keep on drawing. Hard work, well, if you keep on drawing, that even when times are hard, that is the definition of hard work. You're still working, though it's hard. So, and hard work is relative. What's hard for you can be easy to someone else. What's easy to someone else may be hard for you. So as long as you're continue to push, even though it's hard, like it's hard sometimes to wake up early and to carry on doing your drawing, to carry on doing your heads, to carry on doing your anatomy, to carry on drawing all these things. Sometimes it's hard, you don't want to do it anymore. You've been drawing for like 6 hours, like stop, I need a break. I'm not saying that you should draw for 6 hours, especially if you're a beginner, right? I don't but you get my point. And research is critical too. Always continue asking questions. Always think, well, yeah, how can I do that better? And why that, always be inquisitive. Like one of the ways on how I got better at drawing, I used to go to the shop and get the Dragon Ball books, the mangas. I used to get the books, take them back to my house, and I would draw every page because I just loved it. Right? Just draw every page. I remember when there was a animated series came out called Batman back in the 90s, yeah, and it was production cost was just amazing. It was amazing, right? It was an amazing it was amazing, right, when it came out. And I just remember seeing the intro, and it was dark and gritty, and it was just serious, and it was a cartoon. And they used to sell the sticker book, and you have to buy the stickers and stick the stickers in the book, right? I went mad over that. I used to ask my granddad for money because he was in France at the time, and I'd say, Papi, tu peux me prêter 20 francs, you know? And it was francs back then, you know? So I'd be like, Papi, tu peux me prêter 10 francs, ou 20 francs, you know? And by the time it was good because the book cost like, I think it was 10 francs, the book. And then the stickers that you buy, they were only like 20 cents, cheap. And I remember, so my papi would give me money, go down to the bakery, get the baguettes, and while I'm coming back from the baguette shop, there was a shop I used to get the stickers from, and me and my cousin would put the stickers in the box, and then I would draw the drawings in the stickers. You know, that was amazing. So you find something you actually love and draw that. You know, if that's fan art right to you, fan art is anything is what you're, you know, what you love, right? Didn't do that, you know, and yeah. So the teacher in me will think, oh, but you know, you need to start practicing anatomy and this and that. Look, you'll get there. First, start with, because you actually love drawing because of what you want to do, right? You want to be able to do that fan art. You want to be able to draw like that. So then continue to do that. Then you will get to the places where you feel, oh, hang on, I need to understand this. So then you'd research that. So keep inquisitive, keep on researching, and also when it comes financially viable solutions to how to do your art and make money from it, research that too. And the good news is this: you are living in the perfect times to have a successful art career. If you have discipline, if you have perseverance, if you have hard work and you're prepared to do the research, you can have a successful art career. So don't get discouraged, keep on drawing. And if you liked this video, like and subscribe. And feel free to ask me any questions in the comments.